It's 12 o'clock a.m. You call that a.m. or is it p.m.? Let me check. 12 o'clock. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 12:51 a.m.
Okay, 12:51 a.m. All right. 12:51 a.m. What does that mean? Okay, a.m. I was checking my this package I got. My stuff's just arrived at a facility in Chattanooga, Tennessee, U.S. So what does that mean? I'm not really sure. This is my last package I got so far. I'm thinking about ordering this book bag from Temu. Um, once I get my money, once the money come in, I'm slave to make a big paycheck since I've been working 2 days a week and let me see. Yeah, 2 days a week, making $13. I think the last paycheck I was only making I was making $12, I think. Yeah, no, my last paycheck I was only working 1 day a week and I was making $12. I had to rethink that for a second. But anyways, we're ready to get right into it. So let's go. We got this right here. What I was just talking about had nothing to do with anything. I don't know if that's. I saw something that said search strawberries. We might check that on the next one. But this right here is I don't know. Pretty sure it has to be.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to another hot takes. And the first one says that babyface Roman will be his best character yet, and this is indeed a good spicy hot take.
I don't know.
I will have to disagree with it just because I feel like the Roman Reigns we saw in the last 3 or 4 years since 2020, since turning heel, was some epic stuff that I don't think can be topped. That Roman Reigns was so freaking good, but there is a chance. I guess at the end of the day, there's always a chance, and I think that the fans are well behind Roman Reigns as a babyface. They've been chanting "Thank you, Roman," and they've been chanting "We want Roman." So therefore, clearly the fans want to see him. Clearly they want to cheer for him, and the storyline with the bloodline is definitely going to make Roman an even bigger babyface, especially when he has that feud with The Rock. So I do think it can do well. I'm just not sure if it can be his best character yet. Speaking of the Bloodline, the next hot take says that the Bloodline is the greatest wrestling faction of all time, and for a very long time I disagree with this, but now I think I'm starting to believe it, and I will have to say I finally do agree with this hot take. I think this is true. The Bloodline might actually be the best faction. It's not because they created the biggest stars. Yes, you have Roman Reigns, who did really well, and you have Jey Uso, who's been doing well as a main eventer now, but the fact is the Bloodline story went on for 4 years, and it's still going on. And it's still going to be very interesting, and we haven't even seen the best parts yet. I think when The Rock comes back and turns on Roman, that is going to make the Bloodline even greater as a wrestling faction. There's going to be so many more layers. I think that right now I believe the Bloodline is the greatest faction, and I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, a lot of people will agree with that as well. Albert says that Roman shouldn't have lost yet, and he should have been champion for another year. I don't know about this one, Albert. Look, I love Roman Reigns. I thought his run was great, but being champion for another year just would have been a little too long. Cody would have lost his moment. Nobody would have cared for that story, and Roman would probably defend that title maybe twice or maybe 3 times in that time frame. So it's not a great idea to have him be a part-timer for that long. I don't think that was a bad idea. However, the next hot take says otherwise. They say Cody should relinquish his championship. I completely disagree, but I guess at the end of the day, there are people who don't like Cody.
I feel like if anything,
whoever was going to win the championship, I think was going to get some hate because Roman Reigns is loved by so many people online. But at the end of the day, let's give Cody a chance with this championship title run. Noob says that Seth Rollins carried WrestleMania 40. If he wasn't at WrestleMania 40, it wouldn't have been this good. And while Seth Rollins did a great job, this reply pretty much sums up the WrestleMania 40 build-up and who pretty much carried WrestleMania. And it says that The Rock single-handedly built up this WrestleMania on his own and was one of, if not the most exciting things about each night. So yes, while Seth Rollins is the MVP, I don't think he carried per se. I think it was The Rock who really built this up and made it feel like the most important and special WrestleMania, at least in a very long time. Dragon King says that the draft should have been after Backlash. I disagree. I think it should have been after WrestleMania. I don't understand why WWE just doesn't do it maybe a week after Mania, but they wait like 3 or 4 weeks. Do it right after Mania ends so we can get the new storylines cooking. Brandon says that WWE dropped the ball big time on Randy's return, and I don't know if you mean his actual return at Survivor Series or the run he's been on since, but I would say both of them. I think they dropped it big time on both, because number one, I do think that CM Punk overshadowed Randy Orton's return. Randy Orton returned 2 years after an injury, and he did get a big pop. I can't say he didn't, but just a surprise element would have been even better. I don't like how they announced it earlier, about like a week earlier, but besides that, the fact that they just haven't done much with him really tells you a lot about how they treat Randy Orton.
He's in the storyline right now.
With an Invisalign smile, everything clicks. The #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner, Invisalign.
He just took on Logan Paul and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match. He lost, but I don't think he took the win.
I feel like Randy wasn't treated the best after maybe like 2012, and it feels like the same thing is happening now. We gotta treat this guy like the superstar he is. He's really a top 5 of all time, maybe even the best. Keon says that I think SummerSlam this year will be way greater than this year's WrestleMania, and I disagree. Like, I see a lot of people saying that we might get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, we might get Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, we might get The Rock and Cody, and if all those matches happen, then yes, we might get The Rock and Cody, and if all those, and I disagree. Like, I see.
Okay, so we got that match is gonna be trash. That LA Knight Logan Paul match is gonna be trash, maybe mid, but you know that's not gonna work. The match between Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai, that match is gonna be trash. The women's matches are usually trash. Liv Morgan is just a trash person, which is why I hate her. That match between Jade Cargill, Bianca, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Jade and Bianca have a chance at winning the belt at Backlash. So if they don't retain them, then and they have another match at SummerSlam, it'd be like, what? Well, y'all dropped the ball having them lose, and they just became a tag team. That's gonna be trash. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus DIY. That match could be pretty good. I would even put it on DIY. The only reason I wouldn't have put it on DIY before was because I thought Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker were gonna stay on SmackDown. And then I would have had them take the championships. But since they aren't, I really don't care about who holds the championships. Drew McIntyre winning the championship and taking on CM Punk. That feels too rushed. Like I think he would have to probably do a match with Damian Priest on probably a Monday Night Raw, and then get it off like that. Or maybe they do it at a SummerSlam. I mean, not a SummerSlam. I was gonna say Survivor Series, but I forgot Survivor Series is after SummerSlam. Maybe a Money in the Bank. Is Money in the Bank after SummerSlam? I think so. It's crazy. SummerSlam is like in July. I think me and my friend were supposed to go to we were supposed to go to the WWE event on May 11th, but I think he forgot to do it. I told him to do it early. But he didn't get the tickets, and now the tickets are like $300 if you want to get them. And yeah, we're probably not gonna do that for a basic house show. Well, I'm pretty sure most of the people there are not gonna. Outside main event Jey Uso, it's probably not gonna be anybody there I really care about. So I guess I can miss out on that. But we're gonna go see the Deadpool movie in it's supposed to be in July. I ain't been out to see a movie in a while. I usually just watch on Plus or Paramount or HBO. And The Rock versus Cody. Cody still being champion at SummerSlam feels wild. Well, if that match does happen, The Rock gotta take it off him and hold it for a while once he finishes his movie or whatever he's doing. I heard it's an animated movie, so who knows? Um, but let's see.
A
Let's
lot of people are
continue.
saying that we might get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, we might get Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, we might get The Rock and Cody. And if all those matches happen, then yes, that would be the case, but it's not going to happen. I think a lot of those matches could happen, honestly, at WrestleMania 41. With that being said, I don't think SummerSlam will be anywhere near what WrestleMania was this year. I think, if anything, a lot of people are building it up too much, and they might be disappointed.
Right.
The next hot take says that Seth Rollins versus Roman is greater than The Rock and Austin feud, and I gotta disagree. Nothing tops
But it depends
The
on
Rock
which
and
match
Austin
they
feud.
talking
That was
about. They got a
legendary.
couple.
It was iconic. It gave us some of the greatest moments in the history of
It could be the first
WWE,
one.
and it gave us some iconic
couldn't-
WrestleMania matches.
it's
So I'm
probably not gonna
sorry,
be the
Seth
one
Rollins
at
and Roman Reigns,
WrestleMania.
but right now it's still Rock
Maybe
and
it could be
Austin.
a
But that can
one
change
on just a
depending on
random
whatever happens in the future, because Seth and Roman clearly have a feud coming up soon. Footy X Meme says that Damian Priest doesn't deserve a world title, and while some people may think and agree with this hot take, I don't. I think Damian Priest is a solid champion. I think he's going to do a great job, and I think he does indeed deserve it, and
I
he's
think
got
you're
that
doing a
aura
good
now.
job.
Ever since winning that title, for some reason, this man's got the aura, and he's trying to make the Judgment Day even better, so I'm gonna sit back and enjoy what I'm seeing, because I think that Damian Priest is going to be a good World Heavyweight Champion. Speaking of Damian Priest and his world title, Adam says that Finn Balor should dethrone Priest, not Drew. And while a lot of people want to see Drew McIntyre beat him, I don't think it's a bad idea for Finn Balor to be the one who beats Drew McIntyre, because right now Drew and CM Punk, they don't need a belt, but I think a story would be stronger for the belt between Finn leaving the Judgment Day or getting kicked out by Damian. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that the Demon coming back and taking down Damian Priest will be really cool to see. The
It'll
next
be a
hot
good
take says
movie.
that story-wise,
Oh, no.
it's a blessing
I'd
that
probably
Rhea
cry
got
too,
injured. It's exactly the
been
right
forever.
time.
Quit lunch from Domino's.
Like,
Yes, sir.
be like equal to the Universal Championship.
High four right there.
But speaking of, Finn Balor could just pick the Universal Championship because it's Cody Rhodes.
I disagree.
It's just
Yes,
Cody
you can
Rhodes.
see the silver lining, but I don't think that's exactly the right time, and it's a blessing. Not at all. I really don't. Yes, while we got a feud between her and Liv Morgan out of it, that's going to come up later in the future, that does not mean that it was the right time. I would have much rather preferred if that didn't have to happen with the injury. This hot take says that Paul Heyman will be most remembered for being
wish
the
they
wise
would've
man to
just,
Roman
like,
Reigns
gave her some
over the
time
rest
off.
of his accomplishments, and that might very
And if
well be
not
the
that,
case.
just
For
have
a
her
long
lose
time, I
in
said
a-
there's
in a-
no
on
way.
a,
People are always going to remember Paul
PLE in a
Heyman
couple
with
months.
Brock Lesnar, but now Roman Reigns has made the case of being the best Paul Heyman guy, and this is not a bad hot take, and I kind of agree with it. Rash says that AJ Styles should win the WWE Championship by this year. I disagree. I do not want to see AJ win another world title. While it would be cool, and while he's still one of the best in the ring to this day somehow at his age, I want to see new people be given an opportunity, and I want to see new faces hold the world championship. So I'm sorry, AJ, I'd rather see someone like LA Knight become
AJ
the
Styles needs to win
WWE
that
champion. The next hot take says that Dom Mysterio needs a world title run, and he definitely does, and he definitely will get one. Right now, he's injured, so it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I want to say 2025 Money in the Bank, that is when Dom should win that briefcase and then go on to cash it in and become the world heavyweight or WWE champion. The next hot take says that Nick Nemeth will come back to the WWE and be a world champion. I'd love to see Dolph Ziggler return, but I do not think that this guy should be a world champion at all. But I will say he should come back. It would be nice to see that. Hardy says that
I don't
Alberto
think it
Del
would be
Rio
nice for him
should
to
come
come
back to
back.
WWE.
Because I feel like
Absolutely
he
not.
would be
Alberto Del
more
Rio
the
should stay as
When he
far
come back
away
as
as possible
Nick
from the
Nemeth or Dolph
WWE.
Ziggler.
I don't want to see him. I
Like
don't think
Shawn
many people want to
Spears,
see
he
him.
came
Maybe
back as
Hardy
Shawn
does,
Spears,
but
not,
definitely not me.
Ty
He is
Dillinger.
washed. Keep him away from the WWE products. And the last hot take says that the Uncle Howdy thingy is lame. They'll take 6 months to debut them and another 6 months to make them wrestle. I am not interested in this. I want to say that I think the Uncle Howdy thing, at first I was like, I don't really know how to feel about this, but now I see the vision, and I think the WWE is going to try really hard to make this a special storyline and a faction. The Wyatt Six, I think for some reason, are going to come and debut in the WWE, and I believe Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy is going to do a great job. He's going to do justice for Bray Wyatt. So I personally think this is going to be a fire storyline.
Yeah, Uncle Howdy, Wyatt Six, that is 2024 Retribution. Yeah, get out of